In the 1770s, America did not exist as a superpower. It was 13 small British colonies scattered along the Atlantic coast. But these colonies were part of the British Empire, one of the most powerful empires on Earth. American colonists traded with Britain, paid taxes to Britain, and lived under British authority. But Britain needed money after expensive wars, so Parliament increased taxes on the colonies. To many colonists, the problem was simple. They were being taxed by a government in which they had no elected representatives. Protests spread, tensions turned into confrontation, and confrontation eventually became rebellion. By 1775, the colonies and Britain were at war. The American Revolution had begun. The colonies were now fighting the strongest military empire of their time, with no guarantee that their rebellion would survive. George Washington took command of the Continental Army. His soldiers inexperienced and often outnumbered, yet Washington understood that survival itself could become a weapon. Then America found an unlikely ally. France entered the war against Britain, providing money, weapons, soldiers, and something even more important, naval power. In 1781, American and French forces trapped the British at York. The British surrender did not end every problem, but it effectively ended the war. America had won its independence. But winning independence was only the beginning. The new country had to answer a dangerous question. Could 13 separate states actually build one stable nation? In 1787, American leaders created a new constitution. It established a federal government designed to unite the states while limiting the power of the government itself. In 1789, George Washington became the nation's first president. America was still young, but the foundations of something much larger were already being built. America began expanding westward. New territories brought new land, new resources, and the displacement of Native American nations. Then came one of the biggest territorial deals in American history. The Louisiana Purchase dramatically expanded the United States and gave the young nation access to vast lands west of the Mississippi. Territory alone could not make America powerful. Industry could. Factories, steam engines, railroads, and mass production began transforming the American economy. Railroads connected distant regions and turned the continent into a single economic network. Goods, people, and ideas could now move across America at unprecedented speed. By the late 19th century, America's economy was changing at remarkable speed. Railroads connected distant markets, factories expanded production, and growing. At the same time, American inventors were changing everyday life. Telegraphs, telephones, electricity, and new machines connected people faster and made businesses more productive. In 1865, the Union won. The country remained united, entered a new era, one in which industrial growth would accelerate at extraordinary speed. Steel, oil, railroads, electricity, and mass production transformed America into an industrial giant. Companies grew larger, cities exploded in size, and industries such as oil, steel, banking, and railroads created enormous fortunes. Powerful businessmen built companies that could operate on a scale previously unimagined.
Cities such as New York became centers of finance, immigration, industry, and culture. Millions of immigrants arrived seeking a new life, helping create a rapidly changing American society.
For much of the 19th century, America had focused heavily on its own continent. But World War I pulled the United States deeper into global affairs. American troops and industrial production helped strengthen the Allies. After the war, the United States emerged as an increasingly important economic and financial power. But power does not mean invulnerability. In 1929, the stock market crashed, and the Great Depression devastated American families and businesses. Then, in 1941, the attack on Pearl Harbor brought America fully into World War II. The country transformed its enormous industrial capacity into American factories produced ships, aircraft, tanks, trucks, weapons, and supplies on a massive scale. The United States became what was often called the arsenal of democracy. American military power helped drive the Allied advance across Europe, while American forces fought a massive war across the Pacific. In 1945, the Axis powers were defeated. When World War II ended, Europe and much of the world were weakened. America, however, possessed enormous industrial financial power, military strength, and global influence. During the Cold War, the United States competed with the Soviet Union for global influence. Its military alliances, economy, technology, culture, and currency gave